Evening, everybody, and a very warm welcome or a cooler welcome from the Northern Hemisphere and a warmer um, hello to the Southern Hemisphere. A very warm welcome to this evening. I'm looking forward to our billet evening. It's always a great evening for us to receive messages and also a great opportunity for our tutors to demonstrate their psychic abilities because we like tutors who do what they teach, right? So it's really important to us that you come, you experience our tutors and the work that they do, and also be inspired around those who are psychics. I see a number of our advanced students are on the call today, our foundation and intermediate. So a very warm welcome to all of you, and I'm really looking forward to this evening. I know I I know what we're in head for. I know which symbols I've chosen. And first of all, I'm going to introduce the team tonight with me hosting. We've got Isabella. Welcome, Isabella. Isabella is a psychic and a healer. And Isabella, introduce yourself. Introduce yourself and tell us something about yourself.
So I've been with this school for about 7 years, I think now, and starting the journey doing exactly what I'm teaching now, which, yeah, it's really inspiring to see the students, from the foundation and then hear back from them in the advanced and taking their accreditations and expanding and developing. I've done, I think, most of all my training with this school. So all the psychic development had been with this school, the healer. It's also with the school, but then recently, well, not recently, like more than a year ago, I've also embarked in the cacao journey. So the ceremonial cacao, which is a drink. And, I love teaching. I love the foundation because it's that spark that we can ignite in everyone's life and make them really believe in themselves. And, that we all have intuition, that we all have psychic abilities. And the foundation for me is not only about teaching and, teaching the skills or, helping you to find your own skills, but it's about really like igniting that connection with yourself. And, because I think sometimes we look for the answers most outside. And if we look inwards, we can find everything. So it's really like a pleasure and I guess part of my life mission here to, be teaching and guiding souls to themselves.
Thank you very much. And isn't that so true? We all have the answers inside of us, which we do. But things like evenings like tonight help guide us in the direction of finding those. Shaka, who, by the way, Isabella is in London. So you can also say hi in the chat and tell us where you're from this evening. We have Shaka, who is in Costa Rica. I had the pleasure of visiting her when I was miserable in January this year in the cold weather in the UK. And we had a wonderful time together. So Shaka, welcome and tell us a little bit about yourself or a story. Just introduce yourself to the crowd tonight.
Welcome, everyone. Really nice to see familiar faces and new faces. And yeah, thank you, Cindy. I am coming from Costa Rica, but originally from London. So yeah, originally a Londoner, but I've defected to the Americas for this warmer climate. So yeah, and yeah, like Isabella, similarly, I started at the school as a student myself, and then yeah, now teaching the foundation, and also here I teach yoga as well. So I'm a yoga teacher, working as a psychic, energy healer, and moving also into somatics. So really doing a lot of work in somatics and trauma work as well. So it's another kind of area of interest, which so I'm juggling about lots of different things, but all the healing, like all these kinds of different approaches to healing modalities, well-being, and like you said, Isabella, I think it's so true that like the answers are within, but sometimes we need that guidance. And I would also invite everyone today, like when you get these messages, like you'll know if they're for you, because it really just resonates. It hits you in a certain way that you just know that that is a message for you. And so that, in that sense, you're not just taking in what someone else is telling you about yourself. It's something that's resonant, and that's how you know that those messages are really true and for you. And that's how you play an active part in your own guidance. You receive it, but it becomes resonant, and then it becomes practical. So I just invite you all to just, your own practice, your own kind of practicing of your own intuition in that way, of feeling that resonance in your body of what's right for you. And I just really pleased to be here and see you all. And if you ever make it over to Costa Rica, let me know. And like Cindy said, we give you a good time to this beautiful, colorful, abundant land. Thank you.
Yeah, and we have so many people from all over the world, which is as always just fantastic to see our international community. So welcome everyone from wherever you are, and there's no space or time or energy. So we're going to get on to the messages. We're not going to talk too much, and I'm going to just bring up some slides so everyone understands what we're doing. Let's hope that's nice and clear for everyone. Is that nice and clear, Isabella, Shaka? Perfect. So I'm not sure how everyone's felt. I know in the UK, the 1st of September happened, and all of a sudden the lighting shifted. I'm wearing a jumper today. For the first time in absolutely ages. I know down in the southern hemisphere that there's been some lovely weather on the weekend yesterday. I'm not too sure about today. So I'd really like us to just tune into shifting seasons, cycles of change. We know there's a lot going on in the world. We can feel that there are changes. But what does this mean for you? So thinking about shifting seasons, cycles of change. And what I'd like you to do is think of your intentional question for today. What do I want to clarify, clarity on for today? Where am I being invited to grow, release, or transform? Just thinking about, what is the question I have for spirit today? What is it I need to know? And then we're going to do you're going to choose two symbols. There's going to be a primary symbol, which will be your main message. You're going to choose a secondary symbol for further guidance. And maybe you even want to bring the two together. Like, what is the season showing me and how can I work with it? So really we're going to just ground. And when you come and attune and come into the heart space, I'm going to have 8 symbols up, and you're going to choose a main symbol with your question in mind, and then you're going to choose the secondary one. If anyone has any questions, just pop them in the chat now. Excellent. We've got somebody from Romania, Italy, Estonia. Amazing. What a fabulous community. I always get super excited when I see everyone around the world. But let us ground that energy. Let us ground into the seasons. Let us ground into our bodies. So just taking a deep breath in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And just allowing yourself to be present in the physical body. Just allowing your spirit to come into the body, and then allow your feet to sink into the ground, connecting with the mother energy, with that beautiful earth energy. And you can drop a root or an anchor or whatever it is from the base of your spine and the soles of your feet. connecting to the heart of the earth, connecting to her infinite wisdom, connecting to her beautiful water and earth energy, connecting beautifully with the earth. And now I invite you to center in your heart, allowing the earth energy to hold you and guide you. But the heart is where we receive. And so the invitation is to receive a message that is appropriate for you and lets you know what it is you need to know for now. And from there, we just attune to the highest point of light that you can access. So just allowing that energy to come into the heart space and flow in and around you. And while you're doing that, I really want you to come into a much more of an altered space. So that thinking, I want you to just see a big dial that on your mind's eye. So in your mind's eye, I want you to see a dial. And I want you to turn that dial from thinking and from the noise, the outer noise, the noise in your mental body. I want you to turn that to 0. So turn off the noise and turn off the thinking and just see that dial going to 0. And then I want you to find stillness in the heart. Just allow the silence. What do I want clarity on today? Where am I being invited to grow, release, or transform? You're going to choose your first symbol and then a secondary symbol. Maybe thinking, what is the season showing me and how can I work with it? And now I invite you to gently open your eyes, just soften your eyes. And with those beautiful intentions of the changing season, pick your main symbol. What are you drawn to? What is your intuition inviting you to do in this change of season time? I always suggest you go with your first choice. And then I invite you to think about what are you drawn to second? And I'm hoping that everyone has chosen their 2 symbols, because I'm about to bring you back. So check your grounding, center in your heart, and I'm going to invite Shaka to go first, and we are going to go with the first symbol. So how this works, everybody, Shaka is going to read that symbol. What she reads is for you. Listen to all the messages. each of you get a message, and I'm going to start the clock, and Shaka is going to read for 5 minutes. So Shaka, I'm starting the clock from the minute you start to talk.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Cindy. All right. Just give me a moment. Just gonna connect. So straight away, what I feel is, for whoever that chose this message, this really feels like you're coming out of something where you've been very busy, working very hard, feeling like real push. I feel like a real push energy, like a real kind of like effortful energy, a real kind of like trying to get things done, trying to make things happen. And it really feels like this is shifting now. You're coming into a slower and more gentle time. I feel like you can feel this. I feel the invitation. So you might even still be in that energy of like, oh, I've got to move. But actually I'm feeling like this is a time to really start to lean into this slower and more gentle energy that I feel is being invited to you now. I think there might be like, oh, will I get everything done? But I think it's really time to let that go, and really take care of your body, your heart, your mind, and just allow yourself to just slow down a little bit. Take time. This is feeling like very like a time for self-care, a time to recharge, a real time to like pour into yourself. And this feels like very gentle, like, you know, this kind of feels like whatever that might be. And it feels like, you know, I'm aware I see this symbol, you know, this symbol is really like speaking to me on this one. And it just feels like these are cycles. There's these cycles in life. Sometimes it's a time for doing, sometimes it's a time actually for receiving. And I just feel that like, this is a time to plant seeds. This is a time to like kind of receive the energy. Oftentimes I feel like when we're in our doing action mode, it's harder for us to receive inspiration. It's harder for us to know what the path ahead, and this feels like a real time to reflect, but it feels enjoyable. It's not deep kind of, you know, kind of meditation. It's kind of feeling like it's just a slow, gentle, and just allowing, and I feel that the guidance will come. You don't have to grasp for it, find it, reach for it. You just have to allow, and you do this by just slowing down, being more quiet, being more tender, being more gentle with yourself, and it will change again. It feels like it will change again, but this is a moment where I feel like that, because I'm kind of feeling like there's something that's still like, oh, but I haven't wrapped this up, oh, I haven't finished this thing. It's like, don't worry, it will resolve itself. Yeah, you flow with the energy of the invitation. It really feels like this is coming to you. This is not something you have to reach for. Again, it's something that's kind of coming to you. It's an invitation to really yeah, just go with the flow, go with the energy of this moment. And this isn't, you know, and even if we think about this season, we're thinking about this time, this is a time really for planting seeds. This is when we're kind of going back to the ground, we're releasing, letting go. So it's a really good time for this. You know, summer is fire, it's all about action and doing, you know, and this is now we're coming into the water season of like just letting everything, yeah, like going more with the flow. I feel like the message here is anything that feels forced, anything that feels really like effortful is not what you should be doing right now. So if it feels like you've got to grasp for it, you've got to work hard for it, let it go, release it. It's not for you right now, your time. You will start to notice that the things that come to you and feel easeful, they're actually pushing you onto the right path, onto the path that you need to be in preparation for spring, when everything moves outward again, everything kind of blossoms up. So this feels like a real time for like just really taking the time, rerouting, because I feel like spirit is guiding you. I feel like you're being guided. So just notice where things flow. This is the season to follow that. You know, and if there's anything that sort of feels like I can kind of feel like something's pulling me and going, oh no, I've got to finish this, I've got to tie this up. This feels like you're on the tail end. I'm feeling like this holding is more to do with your own holding rather than this is you need to hold this. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like hey, you can just relinquish this actually, and it will come back around in a different form, and it will shift naturally. Yeah, there's nothing you actually have to do here. And actually it's the hardest thing to do. Sometimes I feel like yeah, there's actually the letting go is the hardest thing to do, because sometimes you feel like you've got to control everything, you've got to manage everything and hold everything. But actually it's the opposite. It's actually as soon as you let go, actually the things that you want, the things that you need are all just going to naturally start to just fall into place. So I would just invite you to just have faith, trust that it's okay to let go and slow down, and be in your caring energy for yourself.
Thank you, Shaka. And Isabella, I'm going to bring the next symbol up, which is this symbol over here. So all of you that chose that, Isabella, as you start talking, I'll start the clock.
It's interesting because when I connect with the symbol, I feel like a sense of like feeling a bit lost, and it feels like it's a changing of season, and we're coming to, like, some of you are coming to the spring and some of us are coming to autumn, so it's very different depending on where you are. Okay, it's I feel some of you that might have chosen the symbol have promised a lot of things that would get done this year. You know, it's almost like you've set up at the beginning of the year this huge list of, 2025 resolution, and we get into September and you feel like a bit, I haven't accomplished much. I haven't ticked all the boxes I wanted in this list. And the message is here to surrender to the process. There are so many aspects and of what you have done that you might be focusing on the negatives and what you haven't achieved, but perhaps shift that to see how much you have done so far until now. You know, maybe not exactly what you set up at the beginning of the year and the goals that, like, I'm gonna get into the gym, or I'm gonna study all those books and I'm gonna do this course, but maybe shift the way you look into this and bring into, like, what you have accomplished and put it down, like write down even small things, and I'm feeling really like, when we say small things, it's quite, when you reflect on it and you look back, it will see it as quite a big achievement. And things like, for example, in relationships that you were triggered in a certain way, you realize that you're not getting triggered anymore, and that part of yourself healed in that process. And that's a huge achievement. And that's what they're saying, like, maybe what you set up in the paper at the beginning of the year, you needed to release and you needed to heal some aspects of yourself to get where you are going. And shift the perspective, look at how much you've done. And they're really showing me write down, because when we write down and we read that for ourselves after we have written down, it kind of like, you will see things that maybe you didn't think were relevant, or you thought was quite a small step, but then you came quite far. And it's asking you, I really feel the symbol, and this is asking you to recognize all your accomplishments. Shift the perspective, looking what have you done this year, how much growth, how much learning you've done, and not from the perspective of what you haven't achieved. Maybe, yeah, you didn't go to the gym 5 days per week, but you managed to go one, which was already much better than you were last year, and shift that perspective and give yourself credit, give yourself recognition, give yourself what you need to hear the most, rather than waiting others to do that for you. And really, like, look how far you came. look how many things you were able to do. And, you know, things that you were wouldn't be possible last year, but were possible this year. So it's really an invitation to change the shift in how you see things going in your life, how you see what you've done so far. And for those of you who are going to spring, you know, take this opportunity to maybe put more intentions out there, and you know, maybe being less hard on yourself and more like, when you're setting up new goals and new intentions, be more realistic to yourself, you know, and things that you can achieve. And for those who are going to the autumn, you know, see what can you be grateful for, what like were the seeds that you were able to harvest and you were able to, you know, like really connect with that and everything, the work that you've done so far. And I think you
Thank,
muted.
thank you, Isabella. And we're going to go on to the next one. Please put your comments in the chat, how you resonated with that. And Shaka, I believe this is you with the beautiful green heart.
Love it. Love, love, love. Okay, just give me a moment just to connect. So it's so interesting. I'm feeling a real powerful energy from this, like real powerful. So it's kind of like the opposite of my previous message, which is kind of like a real powerful manifestation. I feel like a real powerful bringing into form of something, but it is through this heart. It's through the heart space, yeah? Or it feels energetic or emotional. So it doesn't feel like an action doing, making, you know, building kind of thing. It feels like a kind of real, like sinking into the body and the feeling, and it feels like so intentional and so focused and so kind of okay, it just feels incredibly powerful. So it feels like a vision that feels like a vision that's like deeply close to the heart, or something that has been deeply held for a very long time. I feel like I feel like a long-term focus, like, so either this could be some kind of study, you know, like really staying focused or staying on a particular path, or staying with a particular thing, like an activity, whatever that may be. It may even be about relationship and actually really seeing a relationship through, you know, seeing it through to the, you know what I mean, like through the highs and the lows. It just feels like something really intentional and really really something with staying power, and something that I feel the level of focus that has already been and that continues. So I feel like it's something that must feed you. It's something that must give you energy, because I feel like there's an incentive here to continue to pour into this dream, into this deep focus, this deep love, this thing that feels like it's so important to you in your life. And so I feel like spirit straight away is just like commending. It feels like a pat on the back of like, wow, way to go. You know what I mean? You've really stuck with something and really and again, no, it doesn't feel forceful. Like it feels like a kind of like a real slow, steady, long, patient path of like really leaning into something that you've decided, I want this and I love this, and I, you know, and I'm going to stay with it. So like I said, whether that's some kind of study, some kind of well-being activity, like, you know, like the gym or something like that, or something you've promised yourself, or just something, it really feels like it gives something back to you. You've been guided along the way that's basically said, this is the right thing, that I should continue to do this. Like I feel like you've had signals, you've had signs that just say, yes, like keep going, stay with it, keep going. It's like, it's such a beautiful, positive thing. And I feel like the path is the blessing, like, you know, so it feels like something, you know, sometimes we have like this kind of manifestation is like this end goal, and that's the end of it. And it's like, this doesn't feel like, this feels like a kind of continuing path that's unfolding that you stay with. So it feels very, very long term. And yeah, I just can really feel yeah, there doesn't feel like there's a kind of ending to this, you know what I mean? Which doesn't mean it's not going to shift and change, but I feel like for now it feels very, very clear and long term. And I think that is the path. Like this energy is the path. Like it is the way. It's not something that you like kind of finish and end and then that's the end of it. It's like this is a way of being almost. I think that's why I felt it like emotional or energetic, because it kind of just feels like almost like part of your being, like part of how you just show up in the world. Is just like, this is such a big part of your life. So I really feel like just trying to think any sort of messages. I feel like first message from spirit is just like, well done, keep going. It's very encouraging. It just feels very like, well done, you're on the right path, like keep going. And I feel like you're getting those signals of encouragement. I'm just going to see if there's anything else. Yeah, like I feel like if there are any doubts, like if there are kind of any wavers of sort of like, oh, but actually should I? Or, you know, if there are any doubts, I feel like what you can do is just drop back into that place. And I feel like where you drop back into your heart, where you drop back into that reason, your why. We sometimes call it your why. What was your reason for starting this? What was your reason for coming to this path in the first place? And I feel like once you kind of just remind yourself, it's very easy to kind of get back into that energy of intention and focus. And I feel like the path is really supporting you. So it's just whoever this is, just a very thumbs up, well done. Keep going.
Okay, and thank you, Shaka. That was mine, and I resonated with that. So thank you. And we're going to move straight on to the next one. And Isabella, let's go.
Really, because the message was coming to me even when Shaka was doing her reads, and I'm like, hold on, let me connect to the symbol. I really feel the symbol is calling you to believe in your own spiritual team. The triangle for me, it's really like spiritual, like I don't know, number 3. It's quite spiritual in a way, and it's like it's calling you to have more faith, in your spiritual team, and to invite them in. Sometimes if that resonates with the people who select this the symbol, is like, I feel you might think that you've been doing all alone for a really long time, and you've been maybe abandoned, and your spiritual team doesn't listen to you, and you're not in connection with them. And maybe that's just because you forgot how to call them in, and they will always respect your free will, and they will always respect your boundaries. So if you don't call them in, they will not come in for support. So, it's interesting because it's coming the fire to me, and the fire is transformation. The fire is to let go of the past and allow the fire to transform what no longer serves you. And something that is not serving you is the self-doubt, is the self-sabotage right now. So it's an invitation to call in your team, to know that you don't have to do it alone, that they are by your side, and they just want you to connect with them, and they just want you to, a small little prayer in the morning or before you're going to sleep, and just acknowledge that you have them by your side, and be grateful that they are walking this lifetime with you. And what is there? What do they need to teach you? That you want to be open to receive their guidance. You want to transform your life and to let go of things that were no longer serving you. And then again, as I say this, is the self-doubt coming in. And if you've been doubting yourself, I really feel there is this color red, which is like passion, which represents like the blood, and an invitation for you to be more grounded as well, to be more in your body, more in the present moment, and to really invite in your team, invite your own strength, your own power, invite into this moment things that will make you feel good and let go of what doesn't. And that might be a bit painful because that might be, letting go of people that are toxic for us. There are people that keep doubting us and keeping bringing us down. And, this process of letting go to create new life can be hard sometimes, but also when we let go of the weight that we've been carrying, when we let go of things that no longer serve us, of people that are not supporting our growth, and we open a space to what we really want to have in our lives. And that's the invitation here to, the triangle for me is a really like the perfect shape, and it brings balance, it brings alignment. And it's this invitation for you to be grounded, ask for what you want in your life, ask for what you need in your life, but be ready as well to allow the fire to come in and transform all that needs to be transformed in your life. Allow that process to take place and to transform things in your life that will help you to move forward in a more positive and fulfilling way. Be passionate, be passionate about your life, be passionate about being here in this lifetime with the opportunities that we had to incarnate and in this lifetime in this body, and don't take that for granted. Be passionate about your present moment and everything you've enjoyed so far and all the beautiful things that you would like to bring into your life. But remember that to bring new things into your life, you must let go of what no longer serves you. And I know I have 5 seconds, but I think I'll stop here.
There we go, Isabella. We didn't even know there were 5 seconds left there. And so we go on to the next one. We're just keeping the momentum, keeping the energy going, keep the chat box going as well. Oh, and here we have the purple one. This is a good one for you, Shaka. Let's go.
All right, give me a moment. Okay, so as soon as I connect to this symbol, the energy of this symbol, I'm really feeling like a really big change is coming for whoever chose this. I guess what I'm kind of seeing is a portal. So it kind of feels like, whoa, some massive change is this. It feels like a really big change in your life, really changing your sense of self, like even who you are and like your path. It just feels like it does feel more it does feel more personal right now, actually. So I'm feeling it's more like to do with like kind of how you see yourself or how you experience life or how you're kind of seeing things. It kind of feels more like a kind of shift in your perspective and your identity. And this is what then opens out the door to these new things and this new path, because it just really feels like, boom, suddenly, whoa, everything's open and everything's different. And it's a complete change. It's like, it's just totally different and it's beautiful. I mean, it feels like a very beautiful change. So it feels incredibly positive, very guided. It just feels like a real, like, whoa, what even is this life? Who even am I? Like, where have I landed? Like, what's happened? Like, it's just really, really beautiful change. It kind of feels like it might feel like it was just simultaneous. So almost like, whoa, suddenly I landed in this new arena. But actually I feel like it's been a long time coming. So I feel like if there is any of that, I feel like it might be useful at this time to maybe just look a bit back and maybe do some, just like reflecting on some really significant moments. I feel that it's led to this kind of almost beautiful simultaneous opening into really a very new world and a new experience. It feels incredibly positive. And I feel like that will just give you some really useful grounding for how to manage new energy. Yeah, I feel like this is like a whole new world, but it feels very positive and exciting. But there might just be these things that might be useful to just think about. Okay, how can I just ground myself in this new energy? Yeah, like kind of grounding yourself into it you know, trusting this new path, because it does feel a little bit like I want to say the moon card, but it's like it's not the moon card, because the moon card kind of feels like unknown, and it's a little bit kind of like, you know, where am I? And this doesn't feel like that, but it does feel unknown because it's new. So it feels like it's unfamiliar. But I feel like, and for those of you, this might be, you know, this is sometimes they say getting what you want is sometimes an extraordinary stroke of luck, and sometimes it can actually be really difficult to get what you want, particularly if there's been instances in the past where you haven't. So you might need to really prepare yourself for receiving and like literally achieving and having something that you want. It's just like, yeah, like it's really, really beautiful. And it really does feel like a portal. There is no going back. There is kind of this just really feels like something really is, there's something really getting left behind in the past. There's something really like, it's just not coming with you. This is a whole new world. So whether that be some, you know, either you're moving, changing job, even moving to a different country, changing relationship, like whatever it is, but it just really feels like something really like a shift. I feel like like I said, I think it started with the self, and now you're starting to really see this open out and actually start to open out in your life. Like suddenly you're seeing all these different changes. And so I feel like the advice here, because I'm kind of feeling a little bit heady, you know, like, whoa, like it's really exciting and it's really kind of like, wow, you know, and so it's amazing, but it's also like, I kind of want to say, don't forget to ground, don't forget to kind of soften, let go with the flow, like come back to your body, come back to your grounding and trust it. I think this is really, you know, and I say to some of you, you know, trusting good things can be a hard thing. Like it can actually be it's actually sometimes harder to get used to having good things, enjoying good things, and for things to go your way and for things to like happen how you want them to happen. Like actually this is like, so do be mindful that just like you can trust this, you can trust this energy, and just remember you can always come back to your body, always come back to your grounding, always come back to this present moment. Remember your team, your spirit team. You've got lots of love and energy and support around you, and you can lean into that. You don't need to, you know, there's nothing you don't, again, it's not an overdoing here. There doesn't feel like a, you know, needing to push or anything like that. You can kind of just soften into this beautiful opening that's happened, and it's you've done the work. I want to say, you know, wherever the path has been in the past, like you've done the work. So enjoy this moment. It's a beautiful moment of achievement. So yeah, again, just really, really, I feel so in this reading. So whoever that is, well done and enjoy.
I am so ready to receive that. I am ready. I put my hand up and say, I am ready. So whoever else got that, put your hand up and say, I am ready to receive. Yes. Brilliant. Brilliant. Thank you. And the next up is for you, Isabella.
Sorry, I was muted. Okay, I've done half of the reading. That's it. It's interesting because when I see the symbol, what comes into my life is the wheel of life, and how things are. Forgot the word in English now. Cyclical, cyclical. Yeah, is that the right
Cyclical.
word?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cyclical.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And sometimes we forget about that. Sometimes we want things to last forever. And, you know, that's really a reminder that, you know, enjoy each moment as it comes, because, you know, we need them to go and we need them to come, and we need them to go and we need them to come, and accept the cycles, you know, do not, it's this invitation that like go with the flow, go with like, don't resist the change, don't resist who you are becoming, don't resist, you know, things that you had to let go. It's a lot of messages of letting go today to bring in like that person that you want to be and the person that you are, and accept the cycles, accept that endings, you know, because they are important as well, and to welcome new things. And and it serves in both ways, you know. There is nothing good that will last forever, and there is nothing bad that will last forever. So really focus on that whatever it is will pass. So if you're enjoying a good moment, savor that moment, you know, like be present, be happy and enjoy that. And if you're in a challenging moment, have that certainty that it will also pass, and new moments and good moments will come. And I believe this really brings us back into finding that like our essence, you know, because going back to truly who we are is that's going to help us navigate that, because I believe a lot of resistance comes with the uncertainty of who we are, or who we want to be, because then we put that into what others are expecting from us, what society is expecting from us, what the job is expecting from you. And then you go into resistance, you go into fight and fly mode, but go inwards. Find a point of balance inside you, because once you find a point of balance, it's like no matter what is going in your life, we will find that balance within you, and you will be ready for anything, for the good and for the challenging moments. But there is really like it's all about the cycles, and think that all like really focus on that, you know, and take the each lesson or each challenge, you know, it's quite easy for us to forget who we are when we're going through challenging moments. So go back inside, go back on truly who you are, the amazing person that you are, how much you've done, how much you've grown, and find that point of balance, which is your essence, that point of like, okay, I can do this. I've done it all my life. I've been doing this, and you can continue doing it. And like be open to receive the good and positive things that are surrounding you. But sometimes you're just so focused on the outside and what is happening outside you that you're not allowing those things to come closer. You're not allowing the good things to come into your life, because you're so like focused on, you know, on the downsides of the cycles and what you're letting go and of the pain, that you don't bring that to the highest point of your life of like, okay, what I'm grateful for, what are the good things. And even in your day, you know, like that's a really good practice, you know, very simple, but at the end of the day, you know, set out all the things that you're grateful in your day, and even the challenging things in your day, because they are there to teach you something as well. And if you haven't got what the lesson is, ask your guides, okay, this was challenging today. What do I need to learn here to keep growing and developing as a spirit? You know, because I do believe we're just like borrowing this body now. So what do I need to learn here to keep growing and keep developing myself so I can open up to better things in my life?
So, yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Isabella. I hope that resonated, and that people who are having a difficult time can feel that vibration this evening and just be open to receive that slightly higher vibration. You just have to just do incremental one step. So thank you for that beautiful reading. And now, Shaka, it's up to you with that very interesting symbol, right?
Beautiful.
Very interesting. Yeah.
Very interesting. All right, let me just drop in. It spoke to me straight away, but I just want to connect. Yeah, so straight away, the words that I got, like straight away when I saw this symbol, is togetherness. I guess also, you know, because everyone knows I read tarot, so this really reminds me of the Three of Pentacles. It's giving me that energy of like, it's like community, togetherness, friendship, working with people, working in community, building a team of some kind. So it feels like whatever this is, if this is for somebody who's maybe feeling alone right now, I feel like this is a message to say, hey, you are definitely not alone. You know, your tribe are coming in, your friendship groups, those that are really truly aligned with you, is coming towards you. Or if you're already starting to work on a project with some other people in some way, whether that's personal or professional, or just enjoyment, even just going out with friends and enjoying it, just really feels like this is a real time to be in community and to be with others, and to really enjoy that feeling of togetherness. Like, all I feel here is just that this is a real, I feel very warm. I feel very like warm and held, and it kind of feels very connected. So, you know, it kind of really feels like, I'm really feeling a like, oh, I'm held, I'm not alone, I've got people I can lean in on or rely on or speak to. And like I said, if this is someone who maybe you're not feeling that, but maybe you're feeling you need this, then this is a message. It's there and it's available. And I think it's just about, just maybe just looking the head up just a little bit, just lift that chin and just have a gaze, you know, across the yonder and see. I feel like there is a real, there's a real possibility. And I hear also the word alignment. So this kind of really feels like these are very aligned friendships or relationships that are coming in, or even, like I said, like maybe it's a team, maybe it's like you're working with somebody new and it feels like a new vision, and it just kind of really feels like it's just a real time to not do things alone. If you're thinking even about starting a business, but like thinking, okay, I'm just going to just set off on my own, this kind of really feels like the message is like, no, find someone to do this with, find a connection, find that resonance, find that alignment. This is not the time to do things alone. This is really the time to find your tribe, find your friendship group, find your community, find your team, find people that you can really align with and work with. So it just really feels like, because I'm just seeing like connection, and it feels very so sometimes, you know, I think sometimes we maybe get the sense that alignment means the same. It doesn't actually. And particularly if you're working in a particular arena or you're doing something specific, it might be that everyone is slightly different or slightly bringing something slightly different to the table, but it feels very complementary. So it doesn't feel like it has to be the same. It just feels like it's just very complementary. Like, so if it is a team, there may be somebody that's working in one area, somebody's working in another area, somebody else is doing something else. And then it's bringing together, it's almost like pooling all these different energies, these different talents, these different gifts, these different like I said, energies. Even if it's a friendship group, it just feels like, you know, there's each one, maybe it has a own like really different personality, but it really complements each other. And I feel like this just feels like this is a moment where there's a real deep appreciation around this. This just really feels like a time to really appreciate this sense of connection, because like I said, it just feels like, hey man, someone's got my back. I've got some, like, you know what I mean, I've got cover in this world, you know, I'm not just facing everything alone, I'm doing this with people. And it might just be one person, even, you know, for some of you maybe it's just one person, but it just really feels like just a real feeling of not doing things alone and having someone else in your corner, and like following the similar path. So just very aligned, very together, very connected. Those are the three words that are coming through the strongest: alignment, connection, and togetherness. I have to say, it does feel purposeful here. This does actually. It does feel like this has got some kind of purpose. There's got some reason for this to come together at this time. So it does feel like, I don't know whether it's a project that's coming to fruition, or whether it could even be like a group holiday. I don't know. I can't see exactly what this is, but it just really feels like there's a purpose for this. It really feels like it has some reason for being. That it's not just the warm feels. The warm feels are amazing, but it also feels like, no, there's a reason for this to come together. It has a real strong purpose. I feel like it's watertight. I have to say, like, whatever it is, it feels very stable. It feels very kind of like held by spirit as well. Oh my God, I could have gone on for another 5 minutes. That was speeding me a lot. So thank you. I didn't even notice the time. Oh, you're muted, Cindy.
Have I missed one, or is that it? Isabella, do you not have
Oh,
another
no.
reading?
We didn't do the yellow one.
The moon.
Yes,
We did the
yes.
moon.
I thought that one. Isabella, it's all yours. So just to say, while Isabella's tuning in, community, reach out. Reach out to us, reach out to the cohorts at the school. Come to our open days, connect with us. London on the 14th, Cape Town on the 21st, online. Join us on these events. Reach out to us, book a chat if you need to talk. But please, it's really an important time to stay connected. So thank you for that, Chuck. And I just wanted to say, please, we really working towards how do we hold community. So that was just perfect. So I'm just going to jump in on extending that as an invitation into the school community and for those who are new. Beautiful. Isabella, are you ready? Steady, go.
So for me, the first word that came into my mind is like follow your intuition, and there is a huge invitation here to listen to your intuition, like learn to listen to your intuition. And a lot of us, when we have that gut feeling, we tend to rationalize and bring into the mind. And that's when the intuition goes down the drain, because we bring into the mind and we bring into like a thinking process. So the invitation here is to listen to what your intuition is telling you. So for some of you, it might be something very simple because you've worked with your intuition already. But I do feel this message is connected to perhaps some of you that are here and seeking, how do I connect with my intuition? How do I develop my intuition? How do I know it's my intuition is speaking to me and not my mind? And there is a really deep, like the moon is deeply connected with our subconscious, with our intuition. And the intuition is so subtle, and it's that split moment where you're like, you were going through a path and then you decide to take a different path. Or, you had a booked trip and something inside you is telling you, do not go, do not go, do not go. And like, or you enter an environment and your body, you start having goosebumps, that's your intuition talking to you. So what is that telling you? Why, like when you go into a place and you feel uplifting and you feel that like it's warm and you're welcome there, but then if you go to a different place, why is your body closing down? Why you feel like there is some sort of heaviness in the air? And try to really listen to it. It's like, what is this trying to tell you? What is this, what are those subtle messages trying to communicate with you? And I don't want to do an advertisement here, but the school is there exactly for that, and especially this course of psychic development. It's really about fine-tuning your connection with yourself to listen to those messages and understand what they're saying and bring that into your heart. If you're in doubt, and you might be divided right now into like different paths to follow, and you're not sure where to go because, really sit with each of these decisions that you're about to make. How does your body communicate with you? Let's say if you are between jobs and you need to decide what is that career that you want to follow. Imagine yourself in each job or in each path that you want to take and see how your body communicates with you. Envision yourself doing that, like going through one path. Where is the path leading you? What are you doing? What are the, like, pretend like the results that if you take this path, and listen to your body. How is your heart? Is your heart light? Is it bringing you happiness? And, to follow that, to make decisions, go with your heart and not with your head. And then it works in the same way. Do like for all the options that you have right now in your life, and see how your body communicates with you. See how you feel about each choice, and really ask before going to the exercise, for your guides again, call them in and ask them to support you and to help you and make that decision, a decision that is connected and aligned to your bigger purpose, to your highest good, and really sit with it and listen to what is your body telling you? How is your heart feeling if you take that path? And really allow yourself to be led by your heart. The heart is the place where, it's not about being emotional, but it's about feeling, following your purpose, your life purpose. And that's where your heart wants to lead you to. So it's really important in big decisions that we make in our life, and especially at this change of seasons, follow your heart, listen to it, and be open to the messages that are coming.
Listen to your heart. Still the mind. Pause. Breathe. Stay in the heart space. And I just want to say from my heart to our psychics this evening, thank you so much for amazing readings. I've had some great insights. I've got to stick with one thing, and big things are changing. So I'm super excited about that. I hope each and every one of you got something really meaningful. The other thing I want to say, please be discerning with your psychics. If somebody doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't stick with you, leave it in the Zoom call. Sometimes things are not 100% aligned. Take what resonates, take what uplifts you, take what guides you. And that is so important about choosing psychics, about getting psychic readings. Be discerning. Don't listen to everything we say. Challenge us if you want to, because that's the way that we all learn. So I invite that as further. Then a couple of other things. You heard me talk about the open days. Please join us on those days. If you are in London or Cape Town, they're going to be fabulous days. We're going to have lots of fun. We're going to connect, and it's just going to be a really high vibrational day. We love it as much as you do. So we're looking forward to those. The other thing is if you are keen to get further information, and I'm going to pop it in the chat and it will come out. If you would like to some further guidance, Shaka and Isabella do private readings. So I'm going to pop that in the chat now. Hold on, I just need to pop that in there. So here are links to their private information, and we will send this out later on with the recording. So if you need to get hold of them, further guidance, often a psychic reading can be really helpful when you're at crossroads, but always, be discerning. So those are their private information. And then, of course, we've got the psychic development starting. If you're keen to join, book an interview with either Shaka or Isabella, and maybe you can learn and one day be up here reading billets for all our lovely community. Everybody, unless there are any burning questions, have a fabulous week further. We look forward to seeing you. Isabella, Shaka, thank you so much. And just blessings to all of you. Okay, thank you, everybody. Thanks for the messages, and we will see you soon. Lots of love. Bye-bye.